All right, moving on with lesson 5, page 2, skill 3, solve rational expressions when the LCD is several factors. Okay, so now it's not just one number or one letter on the bottom, one variable. We have a binomial going on, or a trinomial, or a polynomial, however you want to call it. We're still going to use the LCD to clear the fractions. We want to combine like terms and solve for x. If there is a squared variable now, if there's a squared variable, you want to keep it positive. So if you end up with an x squared on both sides, make sure you move one of the x squares to the other one, keeping the x squared positive, because that's what we know how to factor, okay? We don't know how to factor ones with our negative, so keep the x squared positive, all right? But then you got to make sure you move all terms to one side to equal to 0. That's how you factor stuff. So you want to make sure all the terms are together, that the x squared is positive, and it's going to be equal to 0. Then you're ready to factor, okay? Use the zero product rule to solve for x. I think we did that in lesson 2 by setting each factor to equal to 0. And then one of the new things in this section is to make sure after you get your solutions, look how solutions can be more than one thing, okay, more than one number. You need to check these solutions do not make an undefined expression. So in other words, this one here, x can't be a -2, because that would make that 0 on the bottom, and that makes an undefined fraction. So one of your solutions can't be that. So do not include any solutions that make the rational expression undefined, okay? What is its problem here? All right. So I didn't leave a lot of space here for you to do your problems out. So I too had to go to my notebook paper, because notice my LCD is now LCD is x plus 2, okay? Which means I have to multiply this by x plus 2, and this by x plus 2, and this by x plus 2, all right? To get rid of to clear the fractions. This is going to reduce away, and you're going to be left with x5 plus 5 plus 3x, x plus 2. I'll do that in a minute. And then x squared, just x squared, because that reduces away. That looks a lot better. All right, I need to process this by distributing first. X times x is x squared. This is plus 6x equals x squared. Now, I heard something about make sure your x squareds are positive. So I don't want to take this 3x and move it to the other side. I want to take this and move it this way. That'll keep my x's squared, because this is going to come out to 2x squared, right? And that's going to be 0. That's what I want. And then I've got some x terms here. Go next, combine like terms, plus 5. There is a trinomial that I can factor, hopefully. And I want to keep it equal to 0, okay? 2x is prime, so the 2 goes there. Then I need factors of 5, which is only 1 and 5, because it's prime too. So the only decision is to put the 5 at the end, or the 5 in the same one as the 2. I know my signs are plus plus, because plus plus equals plus plus. And to get all the way up to 11, I want to multiply that times the 2. So that goes there, and that goes there. Okay? And then the zero property rule says to set each factor to equal to 0. And solve. So x equals a -1/2 and -5 for number 1. Okay? Let's see if I can fit number 2 right here. All right, so here are my denominators, and it looks like obviously that one right there is my LCD, because the other two are factors of that. So that means everything is going to be multiplied by the LCD. So I'm going to try to shove this up here, showing my work here. It's important. Some people reserve showing their work for the test, and it's just too much trouble to write it down as they're practicing. But how do you study if you don't see how you're doing something? Okay, so this one, I think these get a little tricky. You're going to take away this and this, so you're going to be left with x plus 1 plus, and then this one goes away, and this is 1 times x plus 2, and then this whole thing and this whole thing go away, so you're equal to 5. Okay, distribute this guy. And then combine like terms. X squared plus 2x plus 2. Move that 5 over. Remember, one of those rules to make sure you have everything on one side. X squared plus 2x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, once I get that equals 0, I'm ready to factor. A plus minus is a plus minus. Let's see, to make my 2 positive, I want to put the 3 here, so it'll be positive, and that makes my 1 go over there. And then I set each factor to equal to 0, and solve. All right, so my answers are -3 and 1. And I look back up here, make sure that -3 is okay, right? And a +1 is okay, because that'll make this a 2, not a 0. If it was -1, I would have to throw that one out, but we're good. Writing down the problem properly is a big part. If you use notebook paper or your scratch paper on the test, make sure that you are copying over the problem properly. Okay. Step 1, find out if so sorry. See if the other two denominators are in this one. So the other two denominators are factors of this one, so this is my LCD. All right, so that all gets multiplied by, copied up here because we're multiplying it. Whatever you do to one, you do to all, because it's an equation. Okay, now this one, let's use a different color here. That one and that one goes away. So this is going to be x minus 2. This one and this one. And don't forget this, that was a negative between them. This is x minus 1. Put that back in the parentheses because I didn't distribute that negative yet. So make sure you put that back in there or take care of that. I'll handle that in a minute. And then all of these go away, so this is just an 11. So distribute, this is x squared minus 2x. Distribute, don't forget that other one over there. Plus 1 equals 11. So this would be x squared minus 3x plus 1. And then move the 11. That makes it a plus 10 equal to 0. Okay, ready to factor. A minus in the middle means 2 minuses, or 2 negatives, however you want to say that. And I'm checking my notes. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Hang on, right here. What is that supposed to be? That's supposed to be a negative, because that was a negative 11. So that's going to change that to a plus and a minus. As I said, it didn't look like it was going to be working out here. That way I can make the 5 negative and the 2 positive. That's how I'm going to get a -3. And that's going to mean that my answers are -2 and a positive 5. And I look back up here, and -2 is okay. It'd be a positive 2 that would be a problem. so I'm good with that one. Write down the problem. There's a 1 right there. Let's not mess with that though. Hang on. I could do that. That looks like a 1, but then I'd have to, I don't know, let's stick with the program here. Because if you don't notice it, you'll have to do it this way. All right, these are 3 denominators with no factors in common. So that means they have to be multiplied together. Okay? So all of this gets put here, here, and here. All right? So this is going to be 8 and all right, let me just do it. Sorry, I know the little arrows are there, but I like showing you how you cross them out. See how even I am tempted to not show my work, and then that might lead to mistakes, okay? There you go. This one, and this one. Okay, minus 8x minus 3x plus 2. So this one and this one, which means we have 8x minus 3x plus 2 equals all of this times that minus the 8. So this is going to be, oh, I'm going to need so much more room. I'm almost out of my page here. Let's just write this over here. 8x plus 2, x minus 2 minus 8. Oh my goodness. 3x plus 2. And then this one was 5x minus 3x plus 2. Okay. All right, this one, did you notice this one was a perfect square? This one's, here, let me do this in another color here. You notice this is x squared minus 4 when you put that back together. So this is going to be 8x squared minus 32 when you distribute that. And then this one's going to be minus 8, and then this distributed, oh my goodness, 8x minus x minus 6, right? Got that, yep. And then keep distributing, 8x plus 8x squared, yep. And then negative times a negative is a positive 48. And that's all going to equal 5 times x squared minus, oops, that's the same as this one over here, which would be 5x squared minus 5x minus 30. Goodness. All right, and then let's put this together. All right, I have a positive 8x and a negative 8x, so they're going away. And then I have a positive x to the 5th over here. So guess what? That means everything's being moved this way because we're keeping that one positive. Okay? So then that means we're moving this 8x over here. So that's negative 13x. And I have a negative 32 and a positive 48. So that makes it a 16, a positive 16. So I'm going to take away 16 from both sides. So that's going to make that a negative 46. And then that's going to factor. By the way, that's a 0 now. Hopefully that's going to factor. What, 5x and x minus minus would be a plus and a minus, but I'm not sure where they go yet. Let's process this. 46, 2 into 46 is 23. So if I put a 2 here, and I put a plus in front of it, I'll get a positive 10, and put the 23 here, I'll get a negative. Will that work? That'll be 5x, 10, that'll be a positive 10x and a negative 23, which will give me a negative 13. So set each factor equal to 0. Sorry, this is not very neat, is it? 23 divided by 5, and this one's going to be a x equals negative 2. Now, go way back up to the top. Are we allowed to have an x equals negative 2? We are not, because that would make that term undefined way back here. So that's an extraneous answer. Do not put that in your solution set. Okay, so that means the only answer we have for this one is this weird 23 over 5, which is correct. Okay. I will have to make another video for the next one.